cotton. Fabulous. There we go. There we are. Let's see if I get everything in the picture. Yes, I think I'm going to about there. Real, let me just get everything on all the other social medias. 3, 2, 1. Okay, who have we got there? Let's have a look. You are now live. Hello, Instagram. And go live. Let's go live on Facebook. Let's press the magic boxes and here you go. Right then. Let's just make sure that that's level. Morning, Rach. Sure, you got me on speed dial, you know. Bless your cottons. Morning, sweetheart. Right, there we go. Sorted, I think. Today's going to be very, very interesting. I'll put them there because I'll show these. Morning. Hi, Dawn. Hope you're well, my sweetie. Sending you a love. We've got quite a bright and cheery Wolverhampton today. It's a bit like this. It's like, oh, sunshine. Morning, Ruth. Hope you're well, sweetheart. Trudy, good morning. I just get excited. Well, yeah, me too. I'm a bit nervous today because I haven't even practiced this one. So what you see is what you're going to get. So if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. All the other socials on. So hi to Peachy Pash. One Lacabana. Hello. I love it. I love some of the names on it. It's fabulous. Hi, Susan. Karen, hi. Sarah, hi. Good morning. Hope you're all well. I'll just let everyone log on and get themselves. There she is. Oh, what you like, Sarah. Morning, my darling. Right then. Oh, I think you look a bit wonky on there. YouTube's on the wonky. Morning, Moira. Hope you're well, sweetheart. I'll just let everyone log on. A couple of minutes here and there. Susan, good morning. Hope you're all well. Hello to the 3 streams. So we've got Insta over there. We've got Facebook over there. And we've got YouTube up here. So good morning, everyone. What we on? Pimple past hair. We're nearly on the o'clock. So we've got Joe. Hi, Jane. Hello. Good morning. Minnesota, 4 a.m. Can you not sleep? Or you working? Or what you up to? Wow. Goodness me. Mind you, it's lovely because I've connected with a lovely lady, Wanda, over in Texas, I think it is. That way anyway. America. And her paints are divine and they're on the way. Obviously, she's making them and creating them and doing the potions and whatnot, but can't wait to show them, especially with these sort of designs. So that's to come. As soon as it does, obviously, that will be sort of an exclusive for you guys, which will be nice. So quick hello to everybody. So right then, I think we're going to begin. So hello, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. So first of all, if you're on catch up, hello. This is going to be brilliant, even though I don't know what I'm doing. Hi, Patricia. Morning from the Netherlands. Good morning. We're quite pleasant in Wolverhampton in the West Midlands. I do see blue sky, but I see some lovely grey, white, fluffy clouds. So inspiration. Good morning, Chris. Your picture is now our group photo. I chose it every month, first of the month. I change the group photo and I pick one of your beautiful designs, and Chris was this month's choice. So beautiful design. If you're not in the group, go and get yourself requested. While I've got your attention, if you'd like to give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, it's all free. You know, it's one of them. It just helps me get out into the ethos, into the I don't know, the computer worlds and all that nonsense. So there you go. Morning, Deborah. Morning, Ali. So I'm going to do the quick hellos. Denise, good morning. Right, now Denise is on there. I want to give a shout out to Denise. My mum was absolutely over the moon. So she sent us a little gift. God bless her. And more than generous. And I just want to say, you guys are what keep me here. Morning, Marie. Morning, Minnie. I love it. Just got to wait for Michael to join. Morning, Monique. So no, going back to that, I just want to say I can't thank you guys enough, not just for your little gifts, but just for your presence and, you know, sharing stuff like this. And I know some of you think, oh, crikey, I done a workshop yesterday. The ladies there were, bam, amazing. So involved, and it was brilliant. The banter was great. They absolutely made some creating things, some fabulous things. And this is what I said, this is what we're making, you know, and that was my one on the day. Obviously I used a little Andy Skinner. Morning, Diane. But their stuff was amazing. And the thing that got me was everybody, you all seem to be in the same thing where you're all self-doubting, can't do this, haven't got the confidence to do that. So today, I hope somebody in the Netherlands to give a workshop. I hope someday. I will be coming over to the Netherlands, and probably Norway again as well. And possibly, by the looks on it, America and Australia. However, those are in the pipeline. But yes, the Netherlands may be quicker, sooner, maybe this year. We're still sort of a chat and whatnot. But yeah, I will let you know. Don't worry. So yeah, I forgot what I was talking about now. So I've lost the plot. You'll have to forgive me because I'm doing a burst. I've taken some new medication this morning, so I might have a dip moment. I might go off on a tangent. Just remember, it's medication wise now. It's not me on my usual. Oh well, the ladies yesterday, amazing group. And what I took from that was, like me, they all goes, how do you create this? Because they said to me, Lisa, can you make a sunset or a sunrise? And I just, and there you go, done. Give me a stamp, bam, 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 done. And this took 15, 20 minutes, if that. And they was going, oh gosh, you know, where, and it was a bigger piece of cotton. I've chopped it down and I mat and layered it. And the response has been absolutely amazing. So what I got from that is everybody, oh bless you, Chicagoland, 4 a.m. Good morning, Mama. Morning, Claire. What I got from that was people don't get how to break down and how to look at something and break it down and put it down on paper. And when you've done that a couple of times, doing something like this is sort of second nature. So I wanted to sort of bring that in because obviously I run, what I'm doing now every week is I'm saying, I'll put some, you send me pictures of what you'd like me to do. And lo and behold, you vote and there seems to be a clear winner. So the clear winner is going to be this. This is going to be Tuesday's demo. So the live tutorial, these are green, so I don't know how my screen is picking this up, but these are funky greens. They're gorgeous, and it's sort of a forestry, it's cosmic. But yeah, so that's the tutorial for Tuesday. So there's your heads up for Tuesday. What I'm going to do today, and what I've decided to do, is I've got a black and a white card because I want to sort of, let me move these out the way. I love that little book as well. That's Tracy Evans stamp. Go over on the group. She's supporting a young lady. Go and have a look at the challenge. It's worthwhile. Get yourself in there. It's purple, black and white and purple theme. Obviously, that's not purple, but I just wanted to bring that attention just so you could go and have a look at that. So I'm going to move these out the way for starters. So, and this, because Tuesday's tutorial, that will be live on the go. And I will have time to practice on that one. This one, I'm just doing straight off the cuff. So, I have got black and white card, and this is what I'm going to do as my reference picture. Now, this is on for you to vote. Basically, I thought, well, it's not got many votes, so I'm going to pull it because there was a comment on there that says, why don't you do one of each, you know, and break it? And I thought, you know, that's a really good idea. So, I forgot who said that, but thank you. But what I want to do is I've printed this off. Now, normally when I'm sitting doing my stuff in my own time, I've got my phone and I've got a reference picture and I'll start doing what I need to do. Or I'll just sit down and think of a time that's relevant for me and have that picture in my head and then paint it, yeah? So for this, I'm going to show for you guys whether you're going to hold it on your phone. Let's pretend that's my phone, yeah? Bring your picture up. So there's my phone, yeah? And you've got that lovely pin. You think, wow, I'm going to send that to Lisa, but I'll tell you what, let's have a go at it. So I want to show you what I do. So this tutorial today is how I break down doing something like this and putting it onto either black or white paper. Now, the black paper, I think, is going to be an easier option. And the reason why I say that is because it's just going to be pan pastels, stamp, done, tickety-boo. Hi, Jan. Hope you're well, my sweet. The white paper, I'm going to have to put a base layer down. I'm going to have to put, so this one is going to be a lot more. So this is going to be my play about one. So you know me, I've got all this energy and I go, boom, 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 boom. This is my chaotic start. And then that's going to be my real detailed piece. So we're going to be doing two. So this is going to be my faff about, and this is going to be my demo, so I can see how things go down and how they work. And I'm going to do that on black card. Now, usually when I do that, that's going to be the better piece, but the detail will be on this piece. But let's see. Now, I look at a reference and I look at obviously we've got trees, we've got mountains, we've got like this little bit of light coming through here, we've got a brook or water with a reflection, and we've got some grasses. It's a really straightforward piece, and you look at that and you think, straightforward? Yes, yeah, thumbs up everyone, bless you. Oh yes, thanks for doing. It's all right, so happy. Yeah, bless you. No worries, mama. So it's mama's fault. There you go. So on this particular one, the misting's easy for me. That's just pan pastel. This black here is just going to be black, whether that's black soot or I'll show you the colours I've got in a minute. So that's just going to be put down with white highlights. And then this was just going to be stamp, yep, and white highlights. So for me, that's easy. You've just got brown, you've got like a bit of antique linen here, light greys, black. So I've broke down the colours and I've broke down the structure of the piece. Now, when I've looked through my stamps, I've gone, because I know a lot of you love your Lavinia stuff. So I've gone on my Lavinia and I've looked at stamps that resemble something off here. Now, the grasses, I've obviously got my own stamps to do grasses, but the grasses could be this little stamp here. Yeah, and that's sort of like, I don't know if you can see it like that. It's sort of like little foliage. It reminds me of mistletoe, that one does. And then you've got like the little delicate leaves that could go down as here, but it could also go as little back trees. Now obviously I've got one of the ferns, the red ferns, which could be your backing, but I'd only use so much of it, and then just first and second generation. But like these bits here, you could quite easily use some of these little delicate pieces. Yeah, that would quite easily double up. Same as some of these. You know, you could use whatever. Hello, my sweetie. I hope you're enjoying your holiday break. And then I've got some of the miniature trees. Now, that was in this set, but I don't think this set's relevant for these tree lines. I mean, if you've got confidence, you could do it yourself, you know, and you could. But then again, I want to try and show you where you're using your kit, you know, because some of you might not. I am indeed. Good, I'm glad to hear it, Debs. Feet up, get the dogs on there, done and dusted. Bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And gents, of course. But I want you to use your kit, and I want you to look and think to yourself, what resembles that shape on a stamp? Now, obviously, we could actually use the grass stamp. Now, this grass stamp is universal, whether you like it or not, because that little bit there, put it down. If you use elements or oxides to stamp it down, you can move it. If you use your Versifine Clair Nocturne, that's permanent, so you can't move it. So again, it depends on what you're going to stamp and how you're going to do it. All this sort of stuff here is going to be freehand for me, and I want to stamp and do a little bit of freehand so you can understand how to move stuff around. So I've given you an idea. When you look at them stamps, it's nothing like what's on there, but if you think about how to place them down, because if you look, there's little knobbly bits here. Yeah, I hope you can see as well over there. But there's like little knobbly bits here. Morning, Steph. Hope you're well, sweetie. And off those little knobbly bits, you could do these little time bits. You could do these. You could even do these. And only just put a little bit of ink in places. That would also do. And this would work lovely for some of the grasses. You know, and you could just put your own version of grasses, because this picture hasn't got to be exact. It's your interpretation. You know, I say you do you. You haven't got to go, bam, there's the repeat copy. It's perfect. It's immaculate. It's exact. No, this is all about my interpretation of this design on white and black card. And then your interpretation will be your interpretation. It will not be exact. We don't want it to be exact. Why do another copy of that when I can just print it off and put it in a frame if that's the case? It's all right, Terry. Morning, sweetie. You're allowed, you know. So that's just some of the stamps. I mean, you could go through your Sweet Poppy collection. You could go through your Art Inspirations collection. You can go through your Nice Crafting collection. You could go through your All and Create collection. You could go through Cardio. Whatever stamps you've got, you will be able to pull out something that resembles these shapes. Okay? So I'm going to put them over there. So there's that bit. So as I said, I've got a reference picture which you can clearly see. Now, this picture is smaller than that, so I'm going to get a pencil and I'm going to look now and think to myself, here with a line, I'm going to do that. First time, oh, you must have needed it if you've just slept in. And here, I'm probably going to say this is going to be sort of that water area there. Yeah, so you can see I've just done a bit of a wiggle with a pencil. This is because this is what you see, what you don't see when I start doing an idea of what I want. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Thought it was dark evening. Oh, Victoria, thank you. Oh, there we go. Oh, thank you. Bless you. Welcome. A beautiful place is Australia. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. And then up here, we're going to do those sort of cloud, that sort of thing. Right, so all I've done on there is just done rough little light. Can you see that? And that gives me that rough indication. The cloudy bit, forget all that. All we want is sort of that rough area. Okay, so you're seeing what I do now to break down, putting that onto here. Now, obviously we're on black card, so I haven't got to worry about black anywhere. However, I've got to start thinking about the white part of it. So what I'm going to do is I've got some pan pastel, and I'm going to turn that over so you can see this is natural grey tint. Now, pan pastels has got 20 million colours. I've got the extra dark grey, okay, just so you can see that. And obviously I've got my go-to titanium white. Now, as you're going to think, white's going to be the colour, but I'm going to use this sort of, if this grey is too light at the minute, then I've got the darker grey. And I've got a couple of brushes, and they will be the Lavinia number 3s. So I've got my white brush, black, and that. So I'm just going to dab that into the black so I can actually put, because I don't know whether I've got VersaFine Clair on. So I know that that's definitely got a bit of pan pastel on it. Now, colours. I have got some elements, just in case you've got elements. I've got Midnight Blue and Truffle. Okay, and these I'm going to be using water brush as well. Okay, so I'll put those there, and then I've got my good stamping VersaFine Clair Nocturne. Hi Alison. And then I've got an old one. Now, you know me, that's for me to brush on to get that black. Even though this is True Black card by Pink Frog, both are Pink Frog cards. I like to go over it and just really pull it out, especially when I'm going to play around on it. So I've got two. A fresh squidgy one for my stamping, and then the old one which is dying, and that's just for me to mess around. Okay, so that's that. And then the oxides, I did put a picture on. I've got Lost Shadow, Pumice Stone, Antique Linen. Can you pull these colours out as I'm saying them? Hickory Smoke, yeah. Stormy Sky. Here's Stormy Sky. Weathered Wood, possibly, yeah. Weathered Wood. Red Mahogany, or Aged Mahogany even, is round here. Or I'll use Walnut Stain or Ground Espresso, and then obviously Black Soot, yeah. So it just depends how this goes down on the piece to where it goes on here. And obviously I always put on my bleed proof white. Now, I have a little block with white on, which you can do, or as I've done many a time, I use the lid so it all just goes into there. Now, I've done this in class, in the workshop. I went, oh, look, it'll come out. And obviously I'd sprayed water and it all come out. So remember what you've done with your pot of paint, as you do. Right, so that gives you the real basics of what I've done. And I've got that rough sketch, which will probably go off tangent. And I'll probably forget my lines, so don't worry about it. I'm going to put the stamps over here out the way. And if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. But this gets me in readiness to do a real detailed piece on white card. So my white cards, I'm going to move that out the way just in case I have an accident, because you never know. Right then, so let's get that light. 15 minutes tidying, still not done. Oh, wow, you're still going, Alison. Wow, absolutely adore the bleed proof. Yes, it is amazing to use. It really is. So I've just got an old acrylic block and I put it on there. Usually my toothbrush goes on here for spraying, but I'm going to use that as to paint with today, because when you look at the picture, there's a lot of delicate white bits in this. Yeah, please do, Alison. That'd be good to see your progress. That'll be fabulous. Thank you. Right, so the first thing I want to do, like I've said, is I've got this grey and dark grey, light grey, dark grey, titanium whites here. So as you can see, there is a difference. You know, I do my light, medium, dark. This occasion, I'm starting with these two, and I've got the grey, black on there. Now I'm going to put that into the grey with the black. Now on the picture, I can see here, and this is only going to be rough because all we want to do is have an idea of where things are going to go at the moment. Yeah, so it's you can move it around with your fingers, do whatever realistically. You know, remember, there's no right or wrong. This is just me having a sort of play around. Now, on the workshop, yes, I was going on about, oh, look at me little circly, you know, me whirly bits and whatnot. And it's the only way I can describe what I'm sort of doing here. Apart from, like, you know, when you rub things in with your finger and you whirl it around. But I'll do that with the brush. So this base layer here, right, now remember where your pencil lines are. And this is only very loose. This is me trying techniques. That's all that is. And you're looking at that, you're thinking, oh, sorry, I'm going to knock you around. You're looking at that and you're thinking, no, but this, oh, crumbs, be careful. There you are. Wiggle it around a bit. Don't be shy. Just think to yourself, well, there's a bit of that up there. We've got a bit of summit here, yeah. And then we've got that up there, and then there's that light bit here which we'll put more white on, and then that's a build-up of cloud up there, which is fine, yeah. And then we've got a bit here this side of the mountain. So I'm already starting to sort of, there's going to be some trees here, there's going to be that there, and then all I've got to do is sort of paint into there, yeah. And then this bit down here, there's going to be a bit of a wiggly stream. Remember, this is exactly what I'd do if I was sitting on my own, yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, how am I going to do that picture? You wait till I've got to start doing that blinking green thing. I've got to layer green upon green upon green that you lot have chosen. So there is my basic. So it doesn't look anything like that, but remember how I always say, trust the process, yeah. Now, as this is my black brush with the light grey on, I'm going to just have a little bit of black onto that. And I just want to sort of bring in, now you've got black on, so it's going to take a bit to go black into the grey sort of thing. But I just want to just pull just a couple of different areas, because then you can just see that little bit of difference on that black card. So all I'm doing now is just defining little bits here and there. And I want to bring roughly, I love watching. Well, that's the only way you guys will learn, because I realised that at the workshop yesterday. And I've reached out to basically one of the top, and I'll tell you after I've had the conversation, but I've reached out to say, you know, for workshops and stuff like that. Because I think if you can't get to a workshop, doing them online is just like the next best option, realistically, you know. So that now gives you that sort of, can you see how it's sort of building up? So I'm going to put them over here now, and I'm going to put that out the way. Right now, what I'm going to do, and bear in mind I'm doing this slow. If I was at home now, I'd have probably stamped and gone onto the white card by now. I'm going to leave the white for a second. I want to now start pulling this area here together, and to do that I want some antique linen. Now the reason why it's antique linen is because I'm thinking that's going to be the colour, and then if it's not, I can play around with it. Now I've already put a bit of a white down. Let me have a look what it looks like on the card, because I don't know what it's going to look like until I start putting it on. Now I can paint around, I can, you know, play over this card. So don't worry, you've got to know that you can move this around. This is so interesting to, oh yeah, brilliant, Chris. This is what you're here for, to learn, to sort of understand how I put my work together. So you can look how I've took this apart and putting it down on here. Now here, that's not giving me enough of that sort of yellow pigment that I want, so I know I'm going to add another colour onto that. So at the minute I'm just going to put as much as I can on there, and then I'm probably going to paint on top and do another layer. Now I'd probably say tea bag would be good, tea dye even. I call it tea bag. Let me just bless you. I'm just going to have a look to see what that looks like on as a colour. Oh yeah, there you go. So tea dye, sometimes you've just got to put a base layer down, which is your antique linen. And I've just learnt now that, look at that, that makes a lovely cloud formation. Yeah, okay. Now you're probably thinking, I can't see the cloud yet. I can, but I know what I'm looking for, if that makes sense. So because I know that works so well there, we're going to bring that into our pot. So I'm sorry, I've added tea dye into this. So I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to bring this tea dye, because we've got that bit of colour here. I'm actually going to bring that down only slightly. And I'm just going to put a little bit more antique linen. I'm going to bring that down as well, and then I'm going to get my tea dye and put that on. So basically your antique linen is a base, and then we're going to put that down, and then this is going to be like your bits of smoke and your oomph and everything else. Now I'm just gonna, where we've got that bit of land here, we've got brown in places, so I'm just gonna, just as my base, just want to have an idea of what's going where. So I'm going to move them out of the way, and I've got them to go back to. So remember, we start with the light and we move ourselves along. Now the next one I've got is Lost Shadow, when that's sort of like a white, light grey, whitey colour, and I want to see how this goes on. I mean, this might not be, you know, about as useful as a chocolate teapot, but let's have a look. You see, so to me that's not really doing anything, but I am going to just pop it on as another layer. So that's about, so forget that one, we'll bin that, so I'll put that up there out the way. My next one is pumice stone. Now I know this is going to build up for use the same brush for the grey around here, so I'm just putting a different layer on now. And don't worry about where your trees are going to go, because this is only your base layer. So all we're doing at the minute is putting down a base, and then we're going to stamp, and then we're going to replay. Yeah. So along here, that grey is going to go along. I'm going to have a bit here. And just remember, I'm going to play around with this and move it around. So this isn't going to be the final sort of layers or anything like that. So everything's sort of blending in now, and you're losing things, which is fabulous. So that's your pumice stone. I'm going to put that over there. So at the minute, there's only 3 colours which are valued. Tea dye, antique linen, pumice stone at the moment, yeah? Now, I am going to do a little bit of a stamp. So I'm going to get my juicy pad, which is my Nocturne. So this is my old one. Yeah, I've always write old on to never. If you're re-inking, fair enough, but try and keep one as a fallback for things like this. So, excuse me, I need a scrap bit of paper. So let me just grab a bit of scrap. There you go, a bit of scrap with my funky stamp on. Now, I am going to do a couple of these trees here, and maybe even this little bit of area, just so I can see the build up, okay? When you lose it, because as you start building the layers up, you're going to lose that, yeah? We can restamp, but then if we don't like where we've restamped, that can be then the back layer, okay? So this is my version now of layering, okay? So piece of paper, I'm going to start this area here. So we've got that there, and to be fair, I might even say, whatever's on your brush, just pop a little bit more on. So you've got that, you can see it, if that makes sense. Oh, you love Sundays with me, bless you. I like Sundays with me too. Now, because obviously that resembles the tree or this, we're going to start with that one there. But I don't want the whole thing, so I only want that much there. So I am going to finger stamp. Okay, now, this has lost its sticker, so I'm just going to put it in my gob. Hold on. There you go. Right, Lisa's just licked it. It's shocking, I know, shocking behaviour on a Sunday morning, but it's stuck to my finger now, so there you go. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do first and second generation. I might even do 3, and I'm going to turn it like so, nice and easy. That's what I'm saying. And what I'm going to do is I'm turning my reference so I can actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, so I know I'm going to build up this little area here. Now, don't worry if it doesn't go. Okay, it's going to be, you're going to have a front and back layer, yeah? So this is with the Lavinia stamp. So can you just see what we've got there? And if you want to do a little bit here, don't worry about it, because that'll be a back layer, and we can put smoke over that. See how we've got that as well, yeah? Hopefully that makes sense. So when we move that away, we've got that little bit, and that's only using that much of the stamp. If you want a twiggy bit, you use this bit of the stamp, yeah? But we're just using that bit. So let me just stick that back on. So I'm going to come along here, and I'm going to start putting this bit in, okay? Now, I know I want a little bit more grey down. So don't be shy. Pop it down. You don't like it, we can put more colour over it, yeah? Okay, so stamp. We want that much again. This is my juicy pad. And I'm going to do exactly the same, but I'm going to bring it down a little bit because that comes down, well, roughly, I'll tell you what, roughly about the same, actually. I don't want to make things difficult for ourselves, do we? So look at that, first, second, third generation. We'll have one there, and then we'll go again. Let's have a 2 or 3. And don't worry if your paper moves, it adds to the effects, honestly. Now, this bit here is sort of, oh, an R. Oh, you're umming and ahhing. Oh, fabulous. I hope you're not eating what, you know, some sort of chocolate there and like you've got neighbours thinking what you're up to, girl. You know what folk are like nowadays. Oh, I'm dropping me thing. That's you oohing and ahhing. You're making me chuckle. Right, so there we go. So already now you have got, without any effort, a mountain with this tree line. 2 of my cats are on the arms. What are they? Oh, Alison, what are your cats called? I'll have to call their names. I usually tell Alexa to put banana on toast. Is that what the cats are called? Banana and toast. That's hilarious. I love it. Right, so that just made me so laugh. That has. So on here we've already got mine are Asher and is it Seren? Seren? Asher. Here, pussy. Oh, dear me. And Heather's 2 are Astra and Ninx. What's that? Oh, Ninx. Okay. Astra. Astra. Treats. Do you want a treat? No? Okay. Sorry. If they're going mad for treats now, they're going to crash through the wall. What's them ones that you shake and they come bursting through the wall? I forgot what they're called, but anyway. Oh, dear me. It's jumped down. Oh, is it really? Oh, crikey, I better shut up. Okay, so when you think about here, your bonk, obviously, of course I'm dreamy, that's it. I haven't got anything to shake that sounds like it. Well, it didn't matter now. So, hey, listen, I'm interacting with you. Right, so let's now look at, I love bananas. Oh, sandwich. Oh, goodness me, wow. I do like bananas, but yeah, actually, I do like a banana sandwich, but not with the sugar bit. Here you've got like this grass area. So we're going to put that in while we're just playing, because we're going to do another layer and we're going to put our layers in now. And especially like, I mean, you could even use the tops of the tree for some of these areas here. So let me just show you, because if we don't have a look, we don't know, do we? So all I've done there is just done the top. Now don't worry if we get off a tree, because when we paint it in, we ain't going to see that. Yeah, so I'm just going to do that. Actually gives a great nana and sugar sarnie. Love it. Sounds fabulous though, to be fair. Sounds very, you know, like when you're chicken. Nan, can I have a nana sandwich? Yeah, I remember the day as well. Crikey. Full of innocence we all were, weren't we? Hi. Now, all I'm doing there is using the top of that. Yeah, it's a good breakfast as well. And although they're trees, what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilise that when I'm painting. Yeah, because it's nocturne, it's going to be there, but the paint will then play around with that for me. So that's going to give you a fabulous, I have to go. It's all right, Susan, you go and do that. Catch-up's available. Don't you worry, sweetheart. Go and have fun. Say hello to everybody. Enjoy your day. So we're going to leave that bit there. Let's build up these bits, as I say. So that's that fern. I mean, that's a huge tree, and all we've done is use that much. But that's what we've created to start that scene off. Yeah, so you can see how we're building it up, all right? So let's have a look at the grass part of it. Now, like I said, I've got a selection of Lavinia Stamps. So this is probably what all of you guys have probably got in your little collection. So I want something that's sort of grassy. Now, this little one here with a little sort of knobbly bits on. I don't, can you see that one? I think this was at the flower pot set. I can never remember the names, unfortunately. It's been a long time sort of since I've used their products. So thinking of back of that, I'm sure you die-hard people will know exactly what that one is. Okay. So we could use that one for here. We could actually use this one. I'll tell you what, we'll use this tree, top of it, and that one together, and that will give you your sort of humps and bumps and lumps. Yeah, so let's do that. So 2 totally different things which are going to create some of that background for us. So that's the stamp. I'm going to put that there so you know that's the stamp so far we've used. And I'm going to use the paper just to do sort of areas and blop it as we go. Now, the best thing about using different things is, now I'm gonna see what the oxides look like first of all, because then I might go on to the elements in a second. But let me drop that on the floor. Oh. I am going to just say how, again, I'm finger stamping. The lavender stamp would look, yes, I haven't got the lavender stamp now. So, oh, actually, no, I have, yes, but I haven't got it with me. So there you go. So I've just put on some oxides, yeah, as you do. Now, I want to look at my reference picture, and this hump here is brown, yeah. So that hump there is about here. So I want to just put that hump down. Now, it's not doing realistically what I want it to do. So it is, but that'd be a lot of faffing. And to be fair, I don't really want a lot of faffing. So that's where Lisa says, let me try elements now. Because your inks, your different inks will do different things. So I've got truffle, which is your elements Lavinia Stamps, yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same. This is a much juicier pad, so I'm going to see now. There we go. Yeah, now on that one you can see different, yeah. So what I've done there is I've stamped that down with the brown, and then I'm going to manipulate that. So let me now do, as I'm looking at the areas now, I want to sort of just bring together, and I'm only doing this very lightly because this is a layer, so it hasn't got to be perfect or anything like that. I'm just doing a grass layer down, and it's just finger stamping. So at the minute I'm just going to have something here, and I don't care if you can see tree bits. I don't care if you've got this line here. It's okay, because as we're going along we can move all these, but you're seeing how I create now, yeah. So that gives me that sort of shoreline, because the rest I'm going to do just with a paintbrush basically. And then if you wanted to add little sticky bits up sort of thing, that's the best way I'm going to say it, you can just do something like this. So that then sort of, can you see how that's giving you that effect there, which is similar to here. So as I'm going along with that, I can quite easily just very randomly, because I know it's giving you that sort of grassy effect, which again you have got your orchard grass if you wanted to do that. But all I'm going to do, I don't know where I'm going over there for, I'm sure, but so all I'm going to do here, I mean, this is a fabulous little stamp, and you can see the effect that it gives you, yeah. So don't be shy to sort of, if you don't like something, then just go, okay, well, you know that you can actually move it out, because I'm using elements and it's water and it moves, yeah. And you'll see that in a bit, because I'm probably going to wipe all this away. However, I know that when I start putting it all together, it's going to look exactly what you want it to look like, yeah. So I've just wiped that because it's covered. So that's all we've used stamp wise. Now those 3 little stamps so far. Right, so let's put the lid back on there. Right then, so let's start sort of moving it around a little bit. And I want to do it a little bit, and I want to let places dry so I can move on to other places. Hopefully that will make sense. So the first thing I want to do is just blend in areas. So I'm going to get my black soot, and I've also got the Lavinia, let's move that over there, midnight blue, yeah. Now obviously you can give it a squirt, put it down and work out the lid if you want. Of this one I like to work directly off, but there's your reference, and this is exactly what I'm going to do, is I'm going to work off my reference, and I'm going to try and remember to talk to you, I promise. But bear in mind, this is the first time I've done this myself now. So what do I need? I need a plate down. So let me just grab a spare, that'll do, 20 million of these, and you think to yourself, which one am I going to use? Right, water, there we go. Now I am going to start with elements, and I am just going to start just playing around here. And I'm just going to bring that down. Now bear in mind, I know that I'm going to put another layer on this, so this has not got to be perfect. So as you're looking at that now, don't think, oh, I don't know, I might ruin this. Don't worry about it. But what you do need is to start seeing like that movement and depth in different places, because we've got to put white on here yet. It's nowhere near finished. So this is probably going to take a little bit. So I'm just going to whiz through, well, not whiz through, I'm going to try and talk you through it as well, because that's what this is all about basically. But I want to be able to do it on the white card as well within the time limit sort of, otherwise we will be here forever. Oh, you captivated me. Shocking. Right, so play there, and then up here what I want to do is sort of, we've got this jaggedy bit here, we're going to bring that along here, maybe down here like so. And this, like I say, you haven't, oh crikey, I'm putting water everywhere, you haven't, it hasn't got to be perfect, because this is just a layer, yeah, just a layer. I'll bring that down a little bit, and we're going to have a bit of darkness here, which I'll put that in with one of my bigger brushes, and that will probably be, I'll probably use Versafine Clair around this area here. That will go here, and then I can quite easily just, if I wanted to, just do a couple of flick ups here, a little bit of that there, yeah, a bit of that there. So all we're doing is just pulling that sort of layer down, moving it around. Now did I move all that off out the way? It looks like I did. So here now you've got this lovely sort of area. Now apologies, obviously I'm not seeing any comments, so I can't really talk back to you if you're asking me any questions, so I'm really sorry. And if there is anybody there in the group that's able to answer, please feel free to answer and support your fellow colleagues there. I'm going to just get pumice stone, and I just want to just have a play around with just putting in a lighter, you know, we're just starting to build that sort of mist in smoking, but we can actually do it with a pan pastel. But I want a layer of paint here, well, oxide as such, paint, however you want to sort of say. I just need a depth layer, because again I can quite easily stamp back over this. So you see how we're just hiding those trees, they're dipping here, dipping there, and we'll put that layer on to bring it up again. And then here we've got that lovely bit, and again pan pastel will do it. That's all right, rowers, don't be daft. This is just my play off one. I'm going to try and get it onto a white, because I've used black card with this. So yeah, so this is just the play around bit. That's all white pan pastel there. So again, let me just bring that area here. So this is all we're doing now, is just sort of looking at our reference and putting our version on of sort of that misting, that sort of area where we've got depth and grasses. The water we'll put in last. So I'm just going to sort of say here, here, and down here. So that those little lines I'm doing there are my wiggle lines for that, yeah. And then up here, let me get things out the way. And I do actually want to see whether I can bring in my antique linen on its own little merit now. And let's have a look. Now, put plenty on the brush. So I just want to now see, and I think actually, yes, I think it's going to work. Looks amazing. Oh, bless you. Got to, Trudy, go and enjoy yourself. Catch up will be available, sweetheart. Go and enjoy your day. We'll still be here, no doubt, when you come back. Oh, dear me. So now we're just putting that layer in. So, you know, my wiggly bits. If you lot are watching that were at the workshop yesterday, you'll understand this now, yeah? You've seen it firsthand. Remember? You know what I'm doing. The wiggly bits, yeah? So that's along here. Let's just put a little bit along here. Yeah, bit there. Bit there, and we're going to have some white in that area there, yeah. So I'm now want to just add in, because that's sort of going down and it's drying, let's get that tea dye in now. So a bit of water on my brush, not too much. And then I just want to see now if that tea dye, yes, that tea dye is going to go on that layer. And it's just going to give me that other, it's just another colour, another depth. And that's what you need to try and do with this. Just try and put down as much as you can. Now, if I'd got my paint set out, I'd try and match this exact, as in the paints and the colour. And because you want to sort of, when you do a painting, you want it to sort of be the same, in the sense of, you know, you want to show your skills as an artist. Well, my skills are going to be, I'll show you how to do it. If you want to recreate this in your own little way, you go for it. If you want to print it off and do this and then recreate it to the exact, go for it. There's no right or wrong, remember. Now, let me just get a bit of white on the go. So this is, like I say, bleed proof. And all I'm going to do here is I'm just putting a blob of water in there. And I'm just going to activate it so it dries and you can reactivate it. It's fabulous stuff. Absolutely. You won't be disappointed with it. And on here we got 3 blobs. So here's one. And all I'm doing with that one is it's wet. So I'm letting that move into it. Now this one I'm going to have to move around. Morning, Black Country Care. Hope you're well, sweetheart. Hope everybody's good. So I'm just going to move this around. So here now, I just want some more water. And I actually want to move it around into this sort of cloud base. I don't want any harsh lines being left. I want it to look like cloud. Yeah. So you see how we've now sort of played around that. Hi, Mum. Mum's in the house. And then here we've got like little highlighty areas. So I'm just going to just touch a couple of places here, just so I know where my reference is, yeah? And they won't stay. I will move them. Getting there. Good, good, good. Yes, everybody's well. Thank you for asking, sweetheart. So there's my little reference bits there. And I will obviously tweak it all better as I go along. Now, water. These are just reference lines. Yeah. So you're going to look and say, oh, yes, Liz, I can see that now. Yeah. So look at your picture, think about where you've put it down. And it hasn't got to be exact, remember. All this is my reference to that. That's all it is, yeah? If I look at that, Mum has all the big morning stuff, eh? What you like. Honestly, she'll be going down the supermarket soon. Do you know who I am? I can see it. I can see it, honestly. Right, here, I'm going to start putting a little bit of white. So I want some white here. And we want it to start going up to that area there, yeah? So can you see how I've got a blob there? Yeah? Okay? So you understand now there's no immaculate bang-on precision. I'm just playing around, yeah? So as before this dries, I want to move it. Now, water on the brush, wiggle it around, you know, mean with wiggles. Remember, it looks like a misting, so take it into that tree. Bless. There we go. And then we know we're going to put that white into that area. So we've actually got that sort of start now. And I know that I want white around here and white here and a bit more. So I'm going to let this white move around, obviously, in that area there, because that's going to be quite heavy, yeah? And I want to put a little bit more white before this goes too dry, because it's still wet. And I just want to just play around with this area here. Now, I know I mentioned on my page about Wanda. Her paints look amazing. Can't wait to play around with those paints. It's going to be a very, very interesting time. Those paints look absolutely divine to play around with. Right, so sparkles and all sorts of things. Now, as you can see to me now, maybe a little, not too much, a little bit of ripe persimmon. Now, I say that in the nicest of way. This is a killer, absolute killer colour. And you can see that I've got spottles on the lid, right? Now, this, I might be doing the wrong thing here. I might not be. However, I just want to play around with the colour because I just want this little bit of oomph. So I'm going to move it around quickly. And again, if I don't like it, I can put colour over it. But you can see it's just giving me that little turn just in the where I can put the cloud, just so it looks like, is it a sunrise? Is it a sunset? You know, do we need some lightning in this maybe? Oh, dear me. Maybe. So let me have a look at that now. So let me look at my reference. So yeah, it's coming along all right. Okay, so now let's have a look. Right, okay, so I've got that. Let me just break these down now a little bit. So now we put that harsh lines down. So all we're going to do is just add a little bit of water and just soften them. So I'm just going to soften that sort of area here, which is sort of, it's going to end up like a light grey, just to showcase like the edge of the hills, the mountains, or you know, whatever's going on here. So you're looking at your light and your dark areas. So you're just seeing how I paint now and how I recreate my artwork. So whether that's a mystical scene with fairies in, whether it's anything I create, this is how I break my work down each and every time. So as an artist, you don't just go voila. Well, I do sometimes, but you have to have a reference or an idea of what you're doing, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna put that out the way, as you do. I'm going to get that to dry. So we're now going to move down. So I want that a little bit. Yeah, it does, yeah, definitely. But to be fair, if I'd have carried on with the tea dye, it would have built up. But I don't want to overdo it because it's quite subtle. So, dry, fabulous. Now then, let me come down now. And what I want to do is, I do want to put this white in because I want to see if I can get the white where I want it. So let me move that there and let me look for my white. Diddly do that. There we go. Now then, okay, here we go. So white pan pastel. Yep, that's the one. Okay. And I want to bring it up and I want to bring it sort of around here. I want to bring it into here. And again, you're doing that sort of movement, you know, the circular movement I do a lot of. That's what you want to do. You want to see here, it breaks there. So let's bring that in. I'll put that bit of white here. Let's bring that out a little bit more. Yeah. Let's bring it here. Let's bring that down here. Now here, this comes in and it comes around here. Blow any bits out the way so you can see what you're doing. So already, I know it's not the same, but remember this is my interpretation. Yeah. So it hasn't got to be the same. Yours can be whatever interpretation you want it to be. Yeah. So again, I'm doing a bigger piece of paper, so it's going to look a little bit different as we're progressing along with it. So I am going to put a little bit of white up here just to bring out this area here. Oh, good. I hope you're taking it all in, because I can't wait to see what you guys are going to create, because that's what it's all about. Yeah. Now, if you don't like something, finger, move it, play around with it, because we can put dark on it. Yeah. So we're breaking it down. This bit here, we'll add all these little detail bits we'll add in a minute, but I've now got the basic of that part of that picture. Yeah. So this bit down here now, I'm going to get the pan pastel and I'm just going to play around and just go, right, I want a bit here, I want a bit here, I want a bit round here, and then around here it's sort of a bit of a wiggle, bit of that, bit of this, bit of that, and it's more of a grey, to be fair, around here, and then we'll bring that down. So okay, so now let me get my water brush. So I now want to sort of put the in the light. So when I've got it where I want it to, I'll re-stamp in a minute. And what I want to do is I'm going to get my soot. And I am just going to start just looking at where we've got some of those darker lines in places now. And I'm just going to sort of think to myself, well, let's have a look at that picture for the reference. Just so, for one, it's giving you your idea. And for two, we're only little bits. And just be light with your brush, because we've got to add bits here. We've got brown here we can play around with, yeah? Remember how we stamped that brown down? And then here we've got this lovely area that's got to come over into that sort of like our little water area. And then what we want to do is maybe crisp up this line here. So this line along here. So let's just take away that harsh line of that white. And remember, you put water on it, you can move it around, yeah? So let's take this back here a little bit. And then let's do that across there. And then let's bring this over. So now when you look at artists that you enjoy watching and they speed things up, you can see in real time now what's going on. So you can have a really good go now at your stuff, you know, and think to yourself, wow, I can do it. And it is achievable. You've just got to break it down, just like how I'm doing now, just showing you guys. Just break it down. So we've really got a bit of a scene going on now, and it's just been movement of ink. So if I take a photo of this and stick it out into groups, it's going to be wow, you know, because you know how to do it now. So here I just want sort of like these little pebbles and things, yeah. So I'm just looking now of, before I start putting my stamp on, this is like my back, like that back fall area, like a backdrop. Just a couple of lines here, moving the ink around there. Here an ink, there an ink, everywhere an ink. Yeah, you get it? Yeah, yeah. Good, good. You know me. We're just playing. That's all we're doing. We're just playing. So here now, we definitely want to start. Oh, bless you. You're watching. You can do this. You can do it with me, okay? Let's start putting some of this cloud at the top. Water brush. Black soot, yeah, that's all we're doing. Let's move the white out of the way. Let's move it down. Okay, hope you're all still following along. Now here, we've got to sort of have a little bit of an umphy area. And this line comes down here to here. So what I want to do is I want to sort of wiggle around a bit and try and replicate that sort of. So when you look at the picture, you think, wow, she's done that. That's the picture. No, it's not the picture, but you're seeing how we can play around with it. So I'm playing around with the pan pastels. I'm playing around with the oxides that are already on the page. And follow us until 15 minutes. No, Diane, just get yourself back on track if you can. If not, you can rewind it and just stop then, and don't add where I don't want you to ruin what you've already done. Hopefully that makes sense. And then here there's a bit of a darker area, so I'm just going to do some light here with the brush. And then up here we've got these little bits of darker area. So all we're doing now is pulling in a bit of that cloud. So again, I'm just going to do my whirly bits. It's the only way I can describe it. I'm really sorry. And I'm going to bring over here, I'm going to bring in a whirly bit to here, because that's what the picture looks like, yeah. And then I'm going to maybe break a bit of that sky up and do my own little thing here. Yeah, there we go. Why not? So now we're actually starting to sort of put a little bit together. Now we've got to put another layer on, so we want to let that dry. So I'm going to move down to here. So while that's drying, and I'm going to let that dry naturally, just the same as what you lot are, because you're not going to ruin it. Let me get my tree back again. Now, I am actually going to be really good and move that. God forbid, I'm going to say, and I'm going to actually pop it down on a plate instead of me going freehand now. Now, I am going to put on there, and again, I'm going to get my good pad, my juicy one, Nocturne, and I'm just going to do that top area. Yeah, Lisa Jeeper, yes, I do. So that the bleed proof is my go-to. It's because it's thick. The pen white, which I love, and it is very, very good. That's my backup, because I had to wait months before that come back in. That was the next alternative I got. But once I got that, that's it. That's my go-to. But this is also very, very good. Now, if you haven't got white, somebody asked me about this. You've got Posca pen white. Well, you pump it down and put it onto a block. You can use that the same way and move it around. Or you've got chalks. Now, chalks, you've got Tencent Noir, just pastel chalks or pastel pencils. You have also got, what's the pen I used to use? the white gel pens, but they're not very good, if I'm honest with you, because they don't last. And that is my own preference and my own saying. That's nothing against any company or anything like that. So what I want to do now is I'm just pulling, basically, let me just pop that there. I'm just going to pull, just so I've got this bit of dark. Now, I'm going to take it up quite high. No, it's all right, ask. If I'm looking up, I'll answer a question. You're not disturbing me. I'd rather you ask as we go, sort of thing, if that makes sense. So that bit there, I'm now going to put this out the way, and I want my black. So that's my black pan pastel, but I'm going to move this down, and I'm just going to lightly get my Versa, look at my picture, and I am going to blend that wet into that. Now, can you see the difference that made actually blending the Versa? Now, it is still wet. You can still see it wet on there, so you haven't got to have a great deal. But what I'm going to do here is I'm also going to do the same again. This is my start off for that next little print. So I'm just going to lightly, as you can see, because I will put some more over that. But can you see now how we're actually building the picture up? So while I've got this on the go, here I'm going to now bring this tree area, and I will go back over it in a minute. And this is my good pad, which I shouldn't be using, but it's okay. It's for the benefit to you guys. And I'm going to put a little bit here. And some here. And you will see the difference because you've added product on to you getting like a black card. Now, I can probably put grasses and stuff on that just to give it a different feel. But I'm going to try and keep it as close to the picture as I can, but with my twist, like I say. Now, you can put your black in here and there, and that will give you a different layer, how you're looking at the different layers on here. Now, I have put brown in there, and I do want a brown highlight. But I'm now going to concentrate on what I'm looking at with the mountain top. So my first bit is, this is going to be nice and dark here. Yeah. And then I'm not even looking at this. I'm looking at the reference picture. So I'm now just zigzagging where I think I want that sort of sharp black to be. Now, obviously, I've been an artist for many years. So for me, sort of not looking at my work can be second nature. So if you're not comfortable doing that, don't do it, because I don't want you to go like that and end up down here and wreck your work. So I mean, as a tattooist, you have to have your eye on a reference picture and you work as a tattooist. Other tattooists work differently, but that, you know, there's a lot of different ways I work. So, you know, please don't do something you're not comfortable doing. All right, that's the best way I can say it. So we're starting to actually get an idea of that picture. All right, so I'm just going to bring some of this dark here just to take it into there, and this little bit here that's darker. And again, it's just little bits here and there that are pulling out certain parts that you can go, somebody looks at that and goes, wow, you know, because you're all going, oh yeah, Lise, but you've seen me do this. All right, you can see how I build a picture, and I haven't, this is the first time I've had a go at this. So I'm actually looking at the as I'm looking up here, I'm actually looking and going, oh, I tell you what, this is looking all right. Thank God for that. I can just say, you know, if you do something wrong, it's like, Lisa, what you done? You know, I can imagine. I'll be ripped apart, I would. So I'm glad it's sort of going my way. I hope that sounds as nice as it's meant in a nice. I'm ripping myself apart here, really. Okay, so there we go. So we got to just play around with that. I'm happy with that. So let me just put that on there. I want to sort of pull that out again. So again, I'm getting the white, and I want this bit here to be white, as in that pop sort of part. And I can see me having to put more in as I go. Same as here, I just want to bring that back up. And sometimes you just have to leave the pan pastel sort of on the top with a little blow, just to give you that little extra sort of oomph sort of area, you know. Right, let me just leave that. So let's start the stamping again. Okay, we're ready. We've got the trees. Let's just pull in over here roughly, and I am going to finger stamp because it's just a quick little, I'm going to do it like so you can see, and I'm holding the rest of it, so this isn't going to drop onto here, so I'm holding that as I've got my finger there, so I know when I go down, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, so there's my little tip for what I do. Okay, and I'm just going to pull just little bits, just so it's sort of relevant for that reference. Okay, and then here is just one. Okay, that's it. Now you can, like I say, do the little edges and diddly dot all over the place, but I want to sort of keep in that sort of theme, and I quite liked what this one. I only recently found your page. Oh, bless you. Hello, Pippa. It's lovely for you to join me. I'm so glad you're finding it interesting. I never know what you really like, to be fair. So, you know, or you're doing a mushroom. Oh, make sure you post me in it, tag me in it. Yeah, sorry you're not doing a mushroom, but you just found me. Bless you. So I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you. Now, I want, because we're losing, because we're putting our detail on, I know I've got that ready, and it's like, that can stay there a second. Let me just put, now there's only whatever white's on there. I'm not going to re-add. So I know I've got quite a bit here, and I want, looking at my reference picture, I know that this is coming up to the tree. Yeah, and do it as rough as you want now, because you don't want to go too heavy, because you'll lose what you've just done, but enough so it looks like that misting's coming down. Yeah, enough so you can stamp here, enough so we can manipulate that area there, and then here we want to stamp. So I am going to sort of play a little bit of devil's advocate now and just wiggle it around. Yeah, so that looks nothing like that, but when we get our stamp, which I've just plonked down, yeah, so that's that, like that one at the pots. I think it's got the pots with it and a couple of little flary bits. I'm now going to go here, and this is where you got your brush ready, because it's going to be on top of the pan pastel, so it's going to sort of be loose for you to play around with. And I'm going to do 20 million stamps. Take my finger off, move it, and just move it around and blend it in. Okay, and then that gives you, sorry, I'll keep shoulder butting you guys, that gives you that effect. Okay, that gives you that effect. Hopefully you guys can see that as well, hopefully. Let's have a look. Yeah, there you go, you can see it, and there's you guys. So the best place to watch this is obviously on YouTube, because you get the overhead view, and I've just got the side view with you guys, because everyone's going, can you go on this channel, can you go on there? So they're on there just, I suppose, just as like a background thing, realistically. So apologies if you're not really having the best of viewers. It's not intentional. And at the minute, I'm not paying for a service I don't need, when I don't need to pay for that service. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not made of money. So that's that. Now I've just done little bits here and there. There will be sense in the madness in a minute. Let me just, in fact, I'm going to take this off now, and really I'm going to go very random, and I'll show you for why. It was just, I just want that sort of grassy area, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up, and I do want to put that around here a little bit, and I'm just going to, just at the tip of that now, and it's knowing where your stamp is, and it's knowing what your stamp does. Okay, so you can see now I've just had the tip here and around that, and that's all I've used, and that's given me a really good little area to play around with. Now you're not going to use your brush with your Versa, so I'll put that out the way, and then again you've either got elements or you've got oxide. I'm going to get the elements in just to show you I work with both products, and I'm going to now brush around the area. Now it is still wet, and obviously this, oh bless you, well, I want to see all these creations in the group, you lot. I really hope you have a go at this, because you've seen me start from scratch. You've seen how I do it. You've seen how I put things together. So please have a go. Honestly, it's not as difficult. And I know I say this, it's not as difficult. It's all about confidence. And that's what I learned from the lovely people that came to the workshop. They were so inspiring, and I listened to them talking with all the friends that they'd made on the day. And that was lovely in itself. But the amount of people that were sort of shy to post on groups, or shy to have a go because it looks so complicated. Well, I'm breaking it down for you to have a go, because it's not as bad as what you think it is. Hopefully that makes sense. So all I'm doing here now is just trying to sort of give that sort of movement of where sort of the edge of the water bank is to where it is or it isn't. Yeah, see, Chris, you're all the same. I'm the same as well. I do pictures and I think, oh, I don't think it's good enough to post. And when I post it, it's like it has so many hits on it. I'm thinking, crikey, and that's one I didn't like. Crumbs. You know, so I understand it totally. And this is why I'm doing this, to show you that no matter where you are, you can have a go. And you can actually produce some damn good artwork, because I've seen it in the groups. You know, that I'm not going to name names or anything, but what people are posting in the nice mashup is absolutely stunning. Oh, this is my first post, or I'm embarrassed to post. Post away, goodness me. Absolutely stunning work I'm seeing in there. Absolutely. So there we go. Let's add a little bit more up here though, I think. And I do, right, we're going to add white highlights and stuff on there. So that gives me that balance down there. So I'm happy with that. Happy with this. Happy with that. I need to do something up here. Right, so white detail brush. Now, there's me one. I think that's about, I don't know, is it about a centimetre? Let me get me, I think we're only going to have time for this one, but I'll make this one worthwhile. Don't worry. Yeah, centimetre brush there. Right, so. Yes, it's gone in my gob. Now, I'm going to squirt it with water. I'm going to do it over here because I'm going to wet this off. So I've just given 4 squirts. You've heard me go squirt, 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 yeah? I've got my water there if I need it. So realistically, you only need 2 stamps to create this. 2 stamps. 2 Lavinia stamps. That's all you need. So, let's have a little look. So I've got my white on here and I'm just going to wiggle this around. See, this is why I use the lid, because sometimes on here it's not always how you want it to be. Right, so happy with that. Now, if you're unsure, you can, let me grab a piece of paper. You can put a piece of paper down and put your hand on, right? Which I know how bad I am, so I'm going to do that because I know I'm going to end up doing something that I want to do. Right, so reference picture. It's that part of the picture we're looking at, yeah? You've got white bits here. Let's start putting in those fine little lines, only little tiny lines here and there. And all I'm doing is, I'm not even looking. I am just thinking, oh, just put a little line here and a little, does that look about right there? Let's put a little line here. Look where you've got that, look. That, you know, I'm not teaching to suck eggs, but it's just look what you're looking at in the cloud, right? You got it coming around. Now, I know I'm going to move these lines around, so I'm going to pull them in certain places, and I'm going to, that nice big blob of white there I've just put in, sugar, but it's okay. I'll move it. I'm going to bring it down here, along here, a bit here, and then what I want to do here is I'm just going to follow this very lightly. It gives a little bit that way. Right, so, and that means I've got a bit of light here, a little bit of light there, and then we've sort of got bits going here. Now, you can use your tea dye, which I might do in a second, because let me just get a brush, and I'm going to use one of my squirrel hair brushes, clean water, back of my hand. Now, oh crikey, That's a good one, isn't it? We'll get rid of that in a sec. I want to do, see, now, that's a good for you to see now, how, if you make a mistake, how we do it, yeah? So this is the first bit I want to play around with here, because we ain't got no big blobs of white there, but I want to now wiggle it, you know, me and my wiggles, and I've taken it away, all right? This big blob of white I just want to move out. These lovely little lines I've put in, just add a little bit of water to it, and it moves them beautifully, okay? Now, I've just put my brush down, as you saw, and it rolled down and it's gone across my page. So, I want to try that. I'm horrified of using black card. Come on, I've got black card. Don't be horrified. Play. Get some scrap. Honestly, piece of scrap. And then just have a go. Do a cosmos first and then progress. Let me get this off because that's not part of the deal. So, look at this. Bit of water. Let's move it around. Let's turn it into a nice little bit of something. Yeah. Bit of water. There we go. Okay. So don't think that's it. I've ruined it. It took me 10 hours to do that. It's in the bin. No. Look. There you go. Sorted. Done. And if you don't like it, you can just put a little bit of black soot there. Yeah. I'll show you. Yeah. Let me just put a bit of water on my brush. Yeah. So there's your mistake. There it is gone. All right, and then I will put some we'll what's it there in a minute, so don't worry about it. Right, so on here I actually do want to try a little bit of tea dot, and I'm going to stick with this brush a second because I just want to add only a smidgen. I want to play a bit of colour, bit of advocate. And I see a wolf. Oh, okay. I see a wolf face in the middle here. Wolf face. Oh wow, you mean this bit here? Is it that bit there? That looks like a mouse, like little ears. To me, anyway. Anyway, I'm just going to put some colour on him. So, there we go. Now, being this quite neat, so see how that's sort of bringing that colour? And again, wiggle. Please don't just go like that. If you do little wiggle bits, and all I'm doing is this tip, and it's the same as when I use the brushes, not in the mountains. Oh, okay. Oh, down here then. This bit. There. That bit. Isn't it weird what you see when you're looking at people's artwork? Love it. I think it's fabulous when you look and you start seeing different stuff. Now, I think I'm not really going to add too much because I don't really want to take things away. So maybe leave it like that. And I tell you what, let me just see if I've got an oxide that can help me along with that. Not an oxide, I beg your pardon. A oogie boogie, diddly doodah. Yes, I have. One of them. Oh, yes, I found it then. I found it. Okay, let me just grab. Okay, let's see what we need. So when I'm looking at colours now, I'm probably going to say this here. Even though it doesn't look it when you're looking at the colour here, to me, that one's going to be about right. So, now, somebody said to me at the group, Lisa, all my things smashed up. Well, this one's smashed up with me, as you can see. And all you do is you just push it in and just compact it back down like you would with anything else. Now then, I just want to put a bit of this colour on there. And I am going to use, God knows what brush. We'll try this one. Okay. Let me put my white there a second. Now, I could ruin this. Like I say, this is part and parcel of me. But I just want to sort of look now. Yeah, that's the colour. That's the colour. There we go. Okay, I'm glad I had a go now. Okay, let me just play around with this a minute. Lisa, Wanda is on. Oh, hi, Wanda. Come on, girl. We're just playing around with a bit of colour. Now, Wanda that's on, her amazing paints. Oh my gosh, granulating, glittery. If you like that sort of stuff, have a look. Seriously, please do. I don't know whether you can put a link on with regards to us being on YouTube, but you can see the links on Facebook. Facebook and Insta. So please have a look. So I can't wait for mine to arrive. Can't wait to showcase them to you, because I'll use them to do something like this, something magical and mystical, because I think they complement the paint so well. But yeah, please, if you've got chance, just pop on there, order, you know, have a go. Might be a bit of a wait, obviously, because they're made, then it's not like a mass production, you know, so please bear that in mind. However, they're worth the wait. Pop yourself into a group as well. She's got a fabulous little group, well worth it, definitely. You love the paint, Debs. Fabulous. Right then, there we go. So we've got a little bit more sort of movement now. I know I've sort of played around with it a little bit. However, I think I don't add too much, because I quite like the, I wish I'd have done this before, because that would have been a different build up. Do you know what I mean? Let me just try and lighten that out. There we go. So obviously we started, I've got nearly, oh yes, I know. So yeah, you're very lucky. I've got nearly all of the paints out. Wow. So there's a lot, but they're amazing. I can see why you've got them nearly all, to be fair. Hopefully I'll end up, now what I am going to do is, because that colour's there, I'm going to bring it down like the reference picture. So let me just play silly devils now, and I just want to bring it into the white just as it is on this picture now. So let me just have a look, and then I'm going to add more white in, because I don't want to lose what we've got. So you can see there, but I also want to bring in here, along here. So the picture is actually starting to sort of resemble what it needs to be, because then I can do my last bit of stamping over this. Let's just put that brown into there, and then here it's like sort of a nice little bit of like a reflective. So again, we've added another layer, and this is where you could add too much, to be fair, and it does happen, even me. I do get a bit carried away. So let me just play here. So these are the pan pastels. Let me just take that away. Right, okay, let me have a look now. Brill. Right, now I'm going to get, that's just one big old brush. Now, I am literally just going to apply, mush it all around. So this is taking off anything loose, or anything where I think to myself, time to sort of rejiggle around there. But you can sort of see the picture, yeah? Being we've started from scratch, we ain't doing too bad. I've got to add another little bit of oomph there, but I'll do that in a minute. I want to get these bits right, sort of thing. Now, let me get, I've got a number 3. So this is the Pigma Micron Archival ink. Let's see if it's going to work for me. Normally don't, but hey ho, let's have a look. Yeah, it's going to. Right, so I want to look around here, and that will go into there. First thing I want to do is just pull along. Oh, hello, Sissy Poo's is in the house. That's for Meggie Moo. Oh, I'm glad you like. A bit of pan pastels and 2 Lavinia stamps. So we've done a little bit of a Lavinia sort of thing. So I'm just going to pull just from here, and just to show you for reference purposes that we're just going to give a little bit of oomph just into certain places. And we've put white highlights, but bear in mind you might want to do little bits here and there. And then here, then we've got sort of, we can move bits up for trees. We can sort of add, look at the picture and say, oh, mate, oh, I love it. What are Wanda's paints, Alison? Wonder, if you're in the group, put the details of your paints in for people. It would be helpful. There's probably about a 2-minute delay, so apologies. You'll have to wait for it to catch up with the conversation. But she will catch up, I can assure you. Where's my white one gone? So that's that one, that's that one. Ah, it's up here, hiding. Right, so I'm just going to get white pan pastel and blow everything away, as you do. So I'm just going to put that there. I'm thinking that will be done up there now. that little bit here and there. And what I want to do is just pull up this bit here. So all I've done is just flick. And that, the best thing is with these, you don't like it, you can rub it out. But then again, yes, happy Sunday, everybody. God bless you. The time's just flying by, isn't it? It's just whew, gone. Absolute craziness. Can't get over how quickly this time's just going away. It's crazy. Okay, so now we're going to just bring this area together because I'm quite happy with how this moody bit looks. So that part of the picture looks fabulous, yeah? Hopefully you all agree. If not, sorry. So let me just put this out the way a minute. I'll keep that there for there. Oh, she's keeping us in anticipation now. There. Drum roll, please. Right, I'm going to get my little detailing brush, which is the Lavinia one. And again, do you know something? I think there's enough water on there. Yes, there is. So this will break down, which is fabulous. This is why I like to keep it in the pot. And I'm going to start over this way because I'm right-handed. If I go that way, I'm going to smudge it. So if you start this way, work back, you're not going to damage any work that you've done there. And when you look at the piece, you're going to just pull out little bits of white, just in areas, just sort of here and there. Now, you can blend those in as well as you go, but it's only here and there. Yes. Please put the link in the Facebook group because you won't get it in on YouTube. YouTube does not allow you to put links on, unfortunately. So anybody that wants that, please just pop yourself over either onto my page or into the group and the link will be there. So there's that. What colour is the pan pastel? Well, that's titanium white. I have also used, now hold on, let me put that there because I don't want to roll it back on my paper again. I've also used, let me just turn this over. I have used grey extra dark, which is that one. I have used neutral grey tint, and I have also used orange tint. So the tints are from the pastel range of pan pastels. They do dark range, they do a pastel range, and then they do a regular colour range. I've never known something have so many ranges in all my life than the range. So along here now, this is where your detail starts to come in. Now, I did think I would have time to do a light and a dark piece, but unfortunately I haven't. So on this occasion, we're just going to do this one piece. So I do apologise if you was expecting a little bit more, but this has took longer than even I thought. And as I hadn't practiced it, obviously I've had to... oh, fabulous. Thank you, Ruth. You're very, very kind of you to post in the group. Thank you. So Ruth has kindly posted in the mashup group. Bless her cottons. She's on it. Now, where I've stamped, you can get that little stamp again if you want it to be a little bit more in your face, clearer. Yeah. Again, finger stamp. And all I'm going to do is, because obviously the black's the top layer and we're going over... Yeah, so you're going to see this now. I'm just going to diddly-doo-dah. I've got all these technical names. It's brilliant, isn't it? I bet you lot must think I'm absolutely balmy. Well, just remember, I'm from Wolverhampton, so somebody's got to be balmy here, and it's me. So there you go. Right, so I'm just going to put a little bit here and there. And again, this just gives the effect, lightly tap-tap sort of motions. Nothing sort of heavy, you know, or too crazy sort of thing, but it just gives you that look that, you know, you've got that tree, you've got flowers, you've got trees, you've got all sorts going on, and all I want to do is just pick here and there, just those little white dots on. It's sort of on the top of any leaf, and I'll show you closer in a second, but let me just pop a couple on. And I suppose this is where other artists speed their work up. Okay, no worries. Be right back, she says. Good job I know all these acronyms getting to a certain age. I used to have to Google everything before and think, what the bloody hell's that mean? Hey, crikey. Lol took me forever. I thought, what's lol mean? What are they saying? What are they doing? Oh, dear me. That was funny. But hey-ho, that's how it is nowadays. Everything's an acronym, isn't it? Lumpy neck. You lose your plot with acronyms. Now, in places you've got little wisps of grass. Now I'm going to do just some flicks just here and there. And I know this is freehand, hand painting, but it's a good practice for you because, oh, that's a bit of a blobby thing. Let me get that off. It's good practice because sometimes you need to just do a little bit of freehand work, and it's nice that you can think to yourself, you know, I've done that. You know, I've put them little bits of grasses in there, and look at that flick I've done there, and oh, doesn't that look nice there? And, you know, so practice, practice, practice. I've been doing this, whether I've been a tattoo artist or drawing backgrounds, for many, many, many years. You know, so yes, I can draw a background in like 15, 20 minutes. And, you know, yes, I can do things a little bit differently to you guys, but that's because I've practiced a long time. I mean, people just think, boom, I've just come on the scene and, you know, suddenly I've appeared. I was posting in Lavinia, but I've actually been around a long, long time. I just chose to watch for a long time. And I watched for a long time for a reason. You know, I can be a very private person, and sometimes you just need to watch and just see how people are. Is it the orange pan pastel? This one is orange tint. But I mean, I have got orange, but the orange is proper bam in your face. That's more like a tea bag, because I have put down the tea dye first on the distress, and underneath that was antique linen. So there are a lot of layers on this. I'd probably say have a look from the beginning. Maybe that might help you a little bit more. Not that I want you to rewatch, but it will show you how I've put the layers down, because there's a lot of layers gone onto this. So I think that's probably the best thing for me to sort of say. So all I'm doing, can you just see that? I'm just doing a couple of little flicks here and there, yeah? And that's adding to that sort of grass area. So we'll do the water in a minute. I am going to just come over here. Now up the top here, we've got quite a large area of white. Now I'm going to use a different brush, but that gives me the idea of where it is. And then again, I just want to just put a couple of little flicks here and there. Just sort of say, hello, this is the water line. And you know how I said, you just do you and remember what you do. No, that's all right, Pippa. Thank you so much for joining me. You have a fabulous rest of the day, evening, afternoon. Yes, goodness me, bless you. Thank you for joining me. Let me just put this down. So yeah, so detail is important, and especially when you're sort of doing pieces like this, which, although, you know, when I started it was like blob, blob, blob down, very quick. So look how we're now putting the detail in, and it's not so quick, you know. So, and this is where people forget. I mean, I'm using a very, very fine detail brush. Love ya. Love you too. Oh, yeah. Have you seen some of those gorgeous designs Amanda's doing? My goodness me. Absolutely stunning. I keep missing her blooming catch-ups as well. The what's it? So, oh, she's back. Hi, Mum. There we go. Bless. Everybody's in the house today. How fabulous is that? So all I'm doing now is just giving that sort of interpretation and just bringing just little bits here and there. And I just want to do something along here. And I want to take that bit out, actually. So I'm going to use, let me go on top of that water put that, yeah, I'll say it in a minute. I just want to move this around for starters. Let's just put that there. Now, if you're moving things around and you don't need to move around anymore, get your tissue and just pull it off, yeah? Don't let it sit in a puddle, because you'll warp your card and you'll cause more damage than good, because then you'll then sort of think to yourself, just ruined it, and then psychologically you'll think to yourself, that's it. I'm not going on no more. I'm just going to ruin it even more. So to be fair, if you are lacking confidence and you do something wrong, just go and put the kettle on and have a cup of tea and then go back to it. The last thing I want you to do is, I need to go wash it. Oh, okay, yes. You carry on. Be right back. Yeah, oh, Wolverhampton's a bit cloudy now. So, yeah, I get it. If you've got washing out, I'd go and check it. Because it does look like we've got a few clouds in the area, especially if you're in the West Midlands. Yeah, it's looking a bit iffy. So there we go. So yeah, right, so I want to put a little bit around here. We want to put a little bit definitely here, and then we're just going to skip over there. Okay, so that's a different brush again. Me is funny. You are. You've got cards that tell you that. Love it. Okay, so now I just want to do some of those little flick ups now. Bless you. You're all mad. I love it. So again, just very lightly, these detailing brushes will do the work for you if you don't overload them. And when I sat, look, there's hardly anything on that brush. Do not overload your brush. You overload your brush, all you're going to do is end up with blobs of paint, and then you're going to move it, ruin it, cry because you've got this far, and it's like, that's it. I'm not doing it again, and tears, the whole shebang. So I don't want you to do that. I want you to enjoy this process, because if you got this far with me, you should have something like this in front of you. And if you have, I'm pleased with what I've created. So I'm damn sure you guys will be very pleased with what you've created, yeah? So where I'm just putting these like little wisps of grass and that in the background, obviously I can still see some of the leaves. So don't forget to just white dot those leaves. And I mean, if you wanted to put colour in this, you could actually do those as little flowers. You could put a Posca pen down on these. No splatters. You'd actually just put like little dots of colour. Now I'm just going to move this a little bit around here, and again, do it before it's dry, so don't be shy to sort of put more water on, reactivate it, move it around. Now I want to do something here because I'm not liking that bit, so I'm going to get pan pastel. Bless it. It's a saviour to everything, pan pastel is, I really must say. And I'm just going to have a little bit, I want a bit of orange here just to play around with, and I just want a bit of orange back around here and here. Now I'm curious, I want to play around with this because I've just put that pan pastel down. I just want to move that over there for starters, and I do actually want to just see if I can move it onto the pan pastel and actually move the pan pastel and the oxide together. Let me just dab that off a minute, because when you look at this here, I will put some black into this in a second, but I want that sort of, that effect. And just remember, if you're going over the white will move. Right, so here, now let me just, it's not quite done what I want, but hey ho. Right, I am going to get now in here, I'm going to play around with the antique linen for a minute or two, just to put that sort of different shade down, which is similar. When you look at the picture, I'm just trying to pull out the colour tones now, because when you actually start looking, your other option, which we might go in a minute, will be some watercolour pencils, but it's got to be really dry for that, and I've just got to bring some black work over there. Hi, are you back? Blink, back, bam, done. Crazy. Right, let's just get that, let me get some black work over here. So let's pull that there, and I'm gonna sort of come into here a little bit. Now it's sort of like rocky, wiggly, banana-y. I don't blinking now. I'm sure I make these words up as I go along. It's very, very odd. I'm not liking that bit there. So I'm being totally honest with you. But I mean, when you look at it, for me, I've got to put a bit there. But I'm going to put some shading on it. So the way I will sort of, if I'm not happy with something, I will get the blending brush out in a minute and I will do something about it. Trust me. Now you're welcome. No worries. Right, I'm going to get my light, which is my old. Okay. Now I'm just going to dry this off a second. Let me just put that over there. Let me clear an area. Oh, let me get that. Okay. Let's have a look. Nice bit of lightning coming down there. I keep saying about lightning. I don't know what it is with lightning, but hey ho. We'll play. Right, there we go. Right, okay. Okay. Right, so brush is this one, which is your number 7. So I'm just going to bring this in now, as I would if I'm going to use black soot to begin with. If I don't like what's happening, it will then go on to my Versa. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to come around here a minute, and I'm going to try and do something with the areas that I don't like, for starters. That looks all better already. Okay, let me just bring that into there, that into there, and then here. Okay, so remember, this is my interpretation of this picture. It's not got to be exact. Do not say to anybody, well, why does it not look like? Because at the end of the day, as an artist, for one, it's not nice when somebody says that to you, because it's your interpretation. So your interpretation of something is going to be somebody totally different to somebody else's. So just be mindful. So I know there's a lot of people out there that are very shy to post their work, and when they do, you know, it's a big thing for them. So let's all be respectful of everybody's difference, you know, in looking at different things. Now, you can see that sort of looks like that, but it's not the same. But it's my interpretation. I've shown you how I've broke that down to give you that sort of, that finish sort of thing, yeah? Oh, bless you. So, now what am I going to do? What do I need? Do you know what? I'm going to actually put a bit of Stormy Sky on. Stormy Sky is it's very underrated, but it's a damn good colour. It's a fabulous when you're doing sort of moody clouds, is the best way I can describe it. And I'm going to put it round where, when you look at the reference picture, you've got like this grey. Now normally it would be hickory smoke, but because we've got so much grey on there, I'm trying to put different colours on to give you the sense of what's going on in the picture. I hope that makes sense. So I am going to bring some down here a little bit, for starters, because I'm not happy with this area here. So for me, that's an ideal sort of start point. Now already adding that on there has given me another depth, and I like it. I like it a lot. Now this is where I'm going to be me, and I'm going to look and I'm going to add what I want to add in the places where I think, yes, let's do that, you know. Well, it's not Stormy Sky anymore. Well, this Stormy Sky is over that particular mountain, so you're safe, if I'd say, unless you live roughly about there. Then I'd worry, because then you'd know. Yeah, you go, Wanda. Oh, there we go. I love the techniques. Oh, fabulous. Well done. Pan Pastels is a fabulous medium. You will not be disappointed. And if you do, give me a shout. And I'll give you some hints and tips and tricks and whatnot. If not, Amanda Branston's your lady, because she loves her Pan Pastels. So there's plenty of people that know a thing or two about their Pan Pastel sort of thing. You will get very much addicted. I have got like, I've got 3 of these, and they're full of Pan Pastels, but they're amazing. You can do so much with them. It's a bit like your paints, I'll probably say, in that sort of realm of things. Right, so now I've added that on, you can see that it has actually changed. So Stormy Sky is a really good one to get. So I am just now going to get my old Versa. And I know it's for stamping, but today it's not. So I am now going to just look, and just in little places here and there, I'm just going to make sure I've got that lovely jet black. And I know in some of these places it isn't on the picture, but remember, this is my interpretation. So I will put it where I want to put it, and you will put it where you want to put it, yeah? You get the gist? Good. Okay, so let's have a look. We need a little bit up here. I quite like that there. And you know what? We'll have a little bit here. Let's break that up there. Okay. I can see getting addicted. I've fallen down the pan rabbit hole. You have, honestly. But when you can see the movement you get with them, can you just imagine, Wanda? You got your paints down, you seal them, and then you can actually put the pan pastels on top and then seal that. Look at the layers that you'd get with your work with that. I can already see it. So yeah, excited. You know, so and that's the best thing when you work along other artists. You get so many different tips and ideas. It's brilliant. Right, so I'm just going to get the smaller brush now with the Versa, and I just want to break this little area up here. So I just want to put that here. Fantastic. Yes, definitely. There you go. See, ideas, sharing's caring, as I always say. It's pointless keeping ideas to yourself when we're all in the same boat and we all want to learn. Okay, so there we go. And I'll probably say this little bit here is my stuck bit. So I don't want to overwork the paper, but let me just... Let's just have a little, what we got here? Hickory smoke, what's it? No. There you go. Let me just put a bit of water on my hand. And I'm just going to maybe just move a couple of layers just here and there. Let me just see if that will make a difference. See, normally when you put another layer on and move it around with water, you see the difference and it's like, like it, there you go, got it, you know. So don't give up on your artwork when you're at a certain place and you think to yourself, oh, you know, it's gone, I've lost it. Don't let yourself get to that. Wanda does awesome. Yes, she does indeed. She does some amazing stuff. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that tea dye. I call it tea bag. Tea dye, I know what I mean. Yeah, so I'm just going to put a bit of that there. And a little bit just here. There we go. And I think because I'm not liking this area here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do me now. Because I'm thinking to myself, not likey. Let me get me, because it's a Lavinia piece and we've used Lavinia stamps, let me get my trusty old grass stamp, shall we say. And I'm going to get my fresh pad. And I'm going to, somewhere in all this chaos, there it is, I'm even going to pop it on here. And like I've said to you before, sometimes less is more with your stamps. So don't be shy, because we're doing a layering. You will just see, because we've got that little bit of light going on. Don't overdo it, yeah, but you can take that corner away and take that away without sort of even, you know, overdoing anything, if I'm honest with you, because you are going to see it, but you're not going to see it, if that makes sense. And I just want to capture that little corner piece there. So can you see how that now, and it is wet, but because I've got that there, I can't sort of, I have to climb it, and I don't know why, but that's just what I've always done. That's better. I like to sort of curve my edges, because when you're looking into a piece, that's how I like to do mine. So let me just clean my paddle, clean that, clean this. Right then, so what we thinking? Are we thinking it needs anything else? Or let me just wisp out those edges. Now remember, that ink's still wet, so you don't even need to put anything on your brush. So how perfect is that to finish off your piece? So bear in mind that is still wet, yeah? So there is, basically we've just done 3 stamps. Let me get that out the pan pastels. Oh dear me. So 3 stamps of Lavinia. That's what we've used. We have created that with an array of oxides, a couple of elements, and that's what we've come up with. Now it's not perfect, far from it, but that's my first bite at the cherry, so to speak, yeah? So there's so many places I can pull things out, but for me and time, because it's 11:45, crikey, let me just get rid of that. Hold on, there we go. It's 11:45. Where's the time gone, people? Let me just, there you go. Where's it gone? So, is everybody liking that? Is everybody comfortable enough on how to break down a picture like this and then put it together like that? Yeah? Nay, yay, nay. Again, it's practice does make perfect, obviously. I've just got to add a little bit of something here, as you do. There you go. I don't know, it's just me. You know, this is the thing, you can just play. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Trudy, that's very kind of you. I'm just playing and I'm showing you how I play, basically. Let me just that little bit of grey. You see, this is now where Lisa doesn't know when to stop. Yeah, because I'm looking and I'm thinking, oh, that needs that bit there. Let me just blend this out here. But yeah, please, you know, when you say to yourself, I don't need to do anything else, don't do it. Oh, gosh. Right, so I can't wait to see your designs. I will matte and layer this. This is obviously an A5 piece of black card. I will get around to doing it on a white card, but this took longer than I thought. And like I say, this was my first bash at it. And for my first bash, I really like that bit. I don't know about that bit, but, you know, something from a distance, it looks all right. So, you know, we'll go with it. I might just get a couple of pencils. Actually, you know, while I'm here a second, let's have a look. So I've got, what's that one? Soft pastel, the Gioconda. And you know something, I'm just actually thinking, yes it will. Let me just have a quick tinkle. Well, not a quick tinkle as such, but just, you know, like when you just need to just, let me just have a look a minute. Oh, I should have done this earlier, shouldn't I? Sorry, I keep bumping to you guys. One of these days somebody's going to say, I don't like going on there because Lisa keeps bashing into me. I mean, I do it on the nicest of way, you know, not in a bad way. I just keep forgetting there's a blinking camera there, you know, as you do. It's easy done, well, especially with me. Now, that has given me that little bit of, you know, when you just needed that little pull of colour in places. So, if you've got pastel pencils, again, don't be shy to just, I am just going to pull up here now. Sorry. This is just, I've got to do it properly now. Now I've found the colour. It's just got to happen. So hold on. Pastel pencil. Right, I've just got the white, as you do. I'm just gonna put. So you see how I am just literally little bits here and there. So yeah, bear with me, you guys. Honestly, I'm sure you don't mind sitting with me for 5 more minutes. I mean, if you've got to get off and go and do your dinner. But I'm just gonna pull around there. I've been using my pastel pencils. Oh, okay, fabulous. Even better. You should have told me what to do then. Bless you. So obviously on the picture there's a lot of white. I mean, you can just paint it in, and I didn't want to just paint it in because I don't want that sort of bulk format there. But I mean, sometimes you have to, unfortunately, but I just didn't want to do it on this one. And I'm glad I haven't, because me personally, I think sometimes you can just overdo things. Now this will actually give me those little bits of, you know, that little bit of trickly water that I wanted along here. And I didn't want to keep adding paint and paint and paint and paint. So this is, you know, sometimes your brain cell, my brain cell just ain't work full stop. So I did say to you, I can blame it on the meds, didn't I? So, you know, there you go. That's better. That's much better. There you go. Nice, I've really enjoyed it. Oh, brilliant. Message me later. Yes. Now, go on. Go and bugger off. Go and enjoy your visitor. Love ya. Have a good one. Toodle pipples and all that. So that's there. Yep, I'm happy with that. Let's just, let me just grab another diddly-doo-dah. There we go. So black boy, yep. Catch you later, sweetness. There we go. Let me just pull this in. So I don't want to overdo it, and obviously now I'm on pastel pencils, but you know where you just need that little additional pop of colour and layer. Now this is a true mixed media piece now. We've used several different products. But can you just see now the difference? Adding these little layers in is actually changing the piece, yeah? So even the bit I didn't like now is actually coming alive. You've just got to make sure that you get it, yeah, in that sense. So I'm just going to finish this off. I'm going to matte and layer it, and then I'm going to obviously post it in the group. So for me now, that's sort of about-ish. You know, I can sort of maybe do a little bit here, a little bit there maybe, and here, for instance. There. Definitely a little bit here, bit here. And all you've got to do is look. You're very welcome, Tracy. I'm glad you've enjoyed it. And again, little bits here and there. So don't be shy just to pull those little, because when you're looking, there's those little darker pieces that are just popping from your eye line. Just go over it in that sense, okay? So I am going to leave it at that, because quite easily I can go on forever and a day with this. There is another layer of trees here I've got to put in. Hold on. See, this is what happens. One more tree, I say. One more tree. Yeah, right. Gosh. Right, piece of paper. That's going to be there. That is going to be... Let me just... Good, I'm glad. White pan pastels is your main one. So you haven't got to buy 20 million of them, okay? I just want to put that little bit of something there. That's better. Yes, that's much better. Okay, so now I've got that layer there, that layer there. Brilliant. Now, let me just blend that away. There we go. Just don't forget, if you put anything new down, blend it. Don't let it just sit in that. Really great. Fabulous, Susan. Can't wait to see. Okay, so as you can tell, I am not adding any more onto that, because otherwise, God knows where it'll go. But where you've added those little bits of dark, you can get your brushes and just blend it in if it's too harsh. You know, so don't think, ruined it. Don't worry, there's always a way out, isn't there? So sometimes you've just got that layer that's sitting on and it's a bit too hot. You can get like an eyeshadow brush, a cotton bud. Yeah, I want to live near the mountain, never mind you. I think I'm going to have a house right here, you know. But yes, so there you go. All right, so there's my interpretation. I'm going to matte and layer it. I'll put it out, and this is broke down. So we've had 2 hours of how to put that, how I do it, how I put it in my head, and then you've seen me create it. Okay, now if I was doing this, oh, there we go. Go on, that'll be interesting, Diane. If I was doing this off on my own bat and I was sitting at home, this had been done ages ago, because I'd have just faffed around, okay? But because I'm explaining it to you, it's a lot different when you're actually explaining it. So hopefully I've not kept you too long and it's given you food for thought. So I'm going to go. I'm going as well, Susan. Don't worry. Yeah, pan pastels. The pencils are great. So I'm going to love and leave you. Thank you so much for joining me for this 2 hours. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I've got Instagram, I've got Facebook, and I've obviously got YouTube. It all means a lot for you, you know, liking and subscribing. So I'm going to go. I'm going to say goodbye to the socials first. So bye, Instagram. Thank you for joining me today. So that is you gone. And now, there you go. Sorted. View insights. That'll do for there. And then you guys on Facebook. Louise, Roseanne, Alison, Pauline, Karen, Lulu, Dawn, Jules, Wanda, Denise, Lisa. There are loads of you. Thank you so very much. I'm going to go off that. I'm going to go and turn off YouTube now. So I'll be over on YouTube in a second. There we go. Click done, tickety boo. That's you done. So you guys, there you go. So I'm going to show you my table. Oh, there we go. So that's what I've used. There's my chaos. It ain't a bad match, to be fair, you know, when you look at it from this sort of distance. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you've learnt from it, Sarah. There's all the brushes I've used, all the inks and that's there. And there's even stuff that I didn't use as well. So, you know, but there you go. I didn't give it as popping as this, but the layers are there when you look in the real light. So, you know, maybe that's next time. Maybe I start off with this layer and this colour, or this colour card maybe. That will give you that true colour. So, have fun. Enjoy your Sunday. And I will see you on, well, I'll see you on Tuesday for the green, wherever I've put it, the green card. So that's going to be an interesting one. Oh, here it is. There we go. So that is Tuesday's. Now that's going to be a fun one. Green and blue. Fabulous. So thumbs up, buttercups. That's the one. See you later all. Love ya. See you later.